too hot outside, so I needed to come back inside and film this video. Let's go! But first, let me go get some coffee. And we're back at it again with another coffee. So, ever been in Japan? You want to come to Japan? Well, this is a video for you. But very specific for you guys who are coming here in Japan during the summers. That means either maybe June, July, and August, and sometimes a little bit around September as well. So, here are my 7 tips on how to survive the Japanese summers. Tip number 1, always use sunscreen wherever you go. Please get yourself at least one type of sunscreen. Japan is full of different types of sunscreens. Normal sunscreens, these glow up sunscreens that I actually did use once, but I really don't like it. And you also have the sticky ones and the spray ones. Any type you can find, please get one. And this is to protect your skin from the harsh sun, especially your face. And if you wear makeup, there is also some sunscreens that you can apply before you put on makeup or over your makeup. But I myself don't wear makeup, so I often use a stick-on ones. But nonetheless, please do have at least one type of a sunscreen in your bag at all times. And I'm pretty sure you can find one for yourself because there's a ton of choices in Japan. This is my favorite selection of sunscreen in Japan. It has 50 SPF and it's also water-based. It's for your face and your body. That's how it looks. There is this also thing called Biore UV. It's also 50 SPF and it's called Light Up Essence. This is without, this is with. Oh my gosh, I put so much. Not sure if you can see the difference, but that's it. So it lights up a little bit. This is my last one. This is again 50 SPF and it's a stick version. So you just fill it up like that and you just reapply. And this is really good if you're not wearing makeup, because if you're wearing makeup, I think it's gonna smudge. So yeah, it's very easy to apply. This is the easiest to apply actually. And that's tip number 1. Very, very common, but do wear sunscreen. Tip number 2, a very, very common one again, once again, you have electric fan or even just a fan, a folding fan. Electric fan is quite popular among these days, but I do like to get myself a folding fan. But this is just because an electric fan can run out of batteries, and that's tip number 2, very common. And tip number 3, in Japan you would see very often cooling sheets, but I recommend you to get some cooling sheets. Sometimes when you're under the sun, you are so sticky with all your sweat. It removes your sweat and it also makes you feel cool. I mean cool as in cold, not cool as in cool. But anyways, so that is that. Tip number 4, get yourself some ice cream. Ice cream. And I mean ice cream. You don't have to go to Baskin Robbins to get your ice cream, but you can go to a convenience store, local convenience store, or a grocery store, or even a drugstore to get yourself some ice creams or ice lollies. My personal favorite is called a gari-gari-kun, and it looks like this. There's many different flavors of this ice lolly, but I do recommend it because it's also very cheap and it cools you down. If you've ever heard of kakigori, it actually kind of little bit very similar to that. And I personally like the pear version of gari-gari-kun. I also do like the blue one, but I like the pear one much better. Tip number 5, frozen drinks. If you have ice lollies and ice creams, you might as well have a frozen drink. And beware, this frozen drinks is only available in convenience stores. I'm not sure if it's available in grocery stores or drugstores, but I highly recommend to try this if you have seen it in a convenience store. There's many different types of frozen drinks. You have the normal lemon juice, you have sports drinks, and you also have some energy drinks. So please do try them if you see it, because I really recommend this. At first it's really hard to drink because it's frozen. It looks like this. But after a while, you just have to put it somewhere and, a few minutes, and then you can drink it. Maybe a little bit more than a few minutes, but if you drink it and it's all icy and frappy and all that, it's really refreshing during the summers. And yes, there are sports drinks that are frozen, and my tip number 6 is actually these sports drinks. And there's a whole video about sports drinks and all those drinks during summer in a different video. If you want to check that out, I'ma leave a description down below, and please do check that out. My personal favorite is actually Kalpis, but it's not really sports drinks, but among sports drinks, I do like Pocari Sweat as well. And there's these things like a jelly frozen thingies. It's also available in non-frozen version during non-summers season. But during summers, you might as well get the frozen one. And tip number 7, last but not the least. When you come to Japan, you probably want to have those soba noodles, or maybe udon, or maybe ramen. But it's too hot to have a hot soup, right? So you might have to want to check out the cold soups. There are some restaurants that serves cold noodles, and a lot of them are somens, those very thin noodles. And you also have ramen that are cold, and it's called hiyashichuka, and it's like the ramen noodle type noodle and cold soup in it. And you will see often in convenience stores that they do have these hiyashichuka, which is the cold noodles. So cold noodles during the hot summers is a much better option when you're in Japan during summers, rather than having that hot. Well, it's delicious, but during summers, cold noodles are the best. And those are my 7 tips in surviving the Japanese summers, hot and humid. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more different things that you can try during the summers in Japan, but these are just the 7 things that I have always tried when it's summer in Japan, and I have helped me with this hot weather. Well, I also have an 8 version, but I don't think you will like it if you want to come travel to Japan. My 8 tip is to just stay indoors. Well, Japan is a very technological advanced country, especially in Tokyo, so you will see a lot of attractions inside a building. But if you really want to enjoy Japan, I don't think you should just be indoors. I think you should also try out the outdoor activities. There's a lot of things to see. There's also a lot of architectural things that you can see. There's many things around Japan, and these 7 tips, if you just follow them, or you at least have at least one of them, you will survive. But I don't mean survive, I mean happy and enjoyable summers in Japan. You know, in Japan, because it's really hot and humid, some of the buildings actually do have this mist that is going out of some hose around the building, and it makes you feel cooler. And that's Japan technology. And that's it for our how to survive the summers in Japan 7 tips. Maybe you should have like an iced coffee. I know some of you don't like iced coffee, but I do, because it's summer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in Japan during the summers. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Japan lifestyle video and Japan adventures. Bye! Also, Japan summers have lots of fireworks in it, so you should go and come here. Goodbye.